anything in your life that influences how you view yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Social media and Instagram and Snapchat and all that stuff, and like even like subconscious things that you don't even think about, like seeing a model on a billboard and comparing her body to my body.
Basically, my whole entire life I've struggled with my weight, and it's just because of all that you see in the media. There's never like a fat girl.
I think now we're living in an era and a generation where you're constantly looking at yourself and examining yourself and scrutinizing yourself based on how others might view you in a photo or in something you've posted online.
Why is she so much prettier than I am? And this is the standard that I have to live to. And I don't feel beautiful.
I don't consider myself like obese or anything, but since I have a couple of extra pounds, I'm looked at as like less than others.
Have you had any setbacks in life solely for being a woman?
I don't know if they're necessarily setbacks. I campaigned for judge probably a little over a year ago now. It was very close results. And I did notice a little bit of I don't know if I want to use the word disparity, but in the way people looked at me, like I was younger or like I wasn't as qualified because I think, one, because I look younger than I am, and two, because that I'm a woman, because I feel, and I've always felt, that the accomplishments I have at almost 40 years old are probably more so than some other individuals who've been in that same position and at that same age that were males, and they didn't have the same setbacks I did, or they didn't have the same maybe judgments on them, like you're too young, you're not able to do this yet, kind of thing, despite the fact that I've done a lot in my career.
I thought I did at work when I worked with a couple of guys. It was landscaping, and they acted like I didn't know what I was doing, or I couldn't do it because I was too weak or whatever, and half the time I was able to do it, or I could do better than them. but the one guy especially was kind of a chauvinist. He would make me feel like I was inferior or stupid, and that might have been just me, but that's the way he made me feel.
I just felt the whole time, if I were a man, I would not, people wouldn't be questioning me like they are. I've prosecuted probably, well, at that time it was well over 18 murder cases, and just numerous offenses in every aspect. I've been an attorney for 14 years and an assistant district attorney for 14 years, and I felt like people just kept questioning my ability and my experience, and I don't think that, and I haven't seen a man get that same treatment in that same position.
What advice do you have for girls growing up in this society?
Don't listen to social media. Don't listen to what the media tells you that you have to do. Like, the image portrayed by the media is not the normal woman.
Be yourself. Don't worry about the magazines. Get a good friend through your life, and know that you can trust somebody.
I think my best piece of advice would be just be yourself, and I know that's hard because it takes people a long time, and it took me a long time to kind of come into myself. There's that self-confidence that you kind of lack until you get older, and you struggle with it through middle school, high school age, and maybe starts to come into play in college, but just always be individual, be yourself. Don't try to conform to everybody else, because it kind of all works out in the end.
You could choose anything. What would you be when you're older? You can be anything in the world.
A dentist. I want to teach.
You want to teach?
Teach what? School.
What are some things girls can be when they're older?
An astronaut. Teachers, cops, designers. A princess.
Did you know that there's a girl running for president right now?
Oh yeah. Hillary. Because girls and boys can do anything.